Hey everyone, good morning. It's like afternoon. So I'm on the path to monetization, and I need 3,000 watch hours or 4,000, however you look at it. But I thought that maybe I could entice you with a little bit of story, a ball tickling story. No, it has nothing to do with balls or the tickling of them. The story is this. So when I was in high school, I was a senior in high school. I went to school in Eureka, Montana. A lot of people are like, Eureka, California? No. There's a Eureka, Montana. Look it up. It's super close to the border of Canada. So I had a couple Canadian teachers. But so my senior year, I got in a little bit of hot water, right? I I went through. We had all these plug-in phones, like the old school ones, and they were used for. I don't really know what they're used for, but they were in like a couple offices. There was a couple in the hall, and I had the bright idea um, to steal all of them. So this was like during when everyone was in class. I was a constant skipper of school. I went around and I took all the phones, every one that I could find, and I put them all in my locker. A true crime. And I knew I was gonna get caught eventually, and so yeah, I do get caught. The principal, he calls me into his office. They come out, they search my locker. I mean, it's not like they didn't call the police or anything. This is like a senior kind of funny thing, or they chalked it up to that. This principal, I don't know if this dude's still alive. He was like hella old. He was probably like 60 something when I went to school. Uh, but he calls me in. He's like laid back writer. He always called me laid back writer because I was always just kind of easygoing. I didn't really care. Um, so he gave me an ultimatum. He was like, okay, this was pretty close to graduation too. And he's like, well, I'll give you 2 weeks of in-school suspension. 2 weeks, which was like, I mean, that was like the longest sentence ever. So I go to in-school suspension. Now, at the time, they didn't have, this was a very small school in Montana. They didn't have like a specific teacher that could dedicate their time to in-school suspension. So the in-school suspension like liaison or warden, his name was Rufus, and he was the janitor, the school janitor. Now, he divvied up his time between in-school suspension and cleaning bathrooms, like urinals and stuff. And let me get back to that. The urinals things, it's kind of funny. So I go to in-school suspension. I report the first day. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, our school is commingled. Like, so we had the district was so small. Like, we had one light in town um that we had a lot of different grades combined. So my high school was combined with middle school, and then sometimes there were even elementary school kids in the same building. Like, it was weird. Like, you would see seniors walking with little tiny people, which were just tiny kids, but not midgets or anything. But where was I going? Oh, okay. So the ball tickling part. Let's get to that. Okay. So I'm in school suspension, right? I show up, and none other. I show up, right, and it's just I see Rufus when I first like walk around the corner, and then in the back corner is my younger brother Gordon. He's in school suspension as well. I don't remember his time frame of how long he was in there for, but he was currently in there for biting a kid. Like, so he was in there for biting a kid. I show up, which is kind of funny because it was only me and my younger brother in there. But then later that same day, or maybe even like the next day, my other brother, I have another brother. He's a little bit younger than me, and he did something really stupid. Like, he laughed so hard when he told me what he did, but I don't know if he did this on a prank, or I don't think even anyone dared him to. He just did it out of fun. He decided to poop, yeah, poop in a urinal, like the ones that are up off the ground. He pooped in it. Now, let me just give you some context. The warden, the guy who's doing the in-school suspension, is the janitor. And he was not happy about the poop in the urinal because he's the one that had to take the shit, take it out of the urinal and put it, and probably flush it to some degree, like in a toilet. And I'm just like, what? This is blowing my mind, right? Because, okay, I got one brother in there for biting some kid. And we're not bad people, we're not like the Averys or something. They aren't even that bad. We're watching that documentary right now. It's actually kind of like, what? Like, how did those guys get? But that's besides the point. So, yeah, my younger brother's in there for biting. My other younger brother, he's in there for shitting in a urinal. I'm assuming he did this while kind of like standing up. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're ass height, so you could like kind of like lean your butt back and take a dump. And he said it was a big dump. So at one point we're all in there. Like, it's just like the whole family. I had one other older brother, but he was long gone at this point, military or something. So it was just a super funny kind of event when I'm like, what the hell? We're all in here. And like we had our own kind of lives at that point. I mean, obviously we're brothers. We hang out every day when we get home. But like in school, we had our own social avenues, and you kind of stuck to your own grades and stuff. So, yeah, I didn't see much of my brothers. So that was why it was so shocking. Like, I didn't even know any of the backstory there. Yeah, I always think about Rufus having to take that turd out of that urinal and put it in the toilet. He was just looking at all three. It was just like, oh, Jesus Christ, you guys. I did graduate like a normal person. I think there was only like 20 maybe something in my graduating class, and I was the last one to walk because my last name is Ryder. And I got carried down the aisle by my friend that was in front of me, who was also graduating, which I think was kind of funny. But yeah, just long story kind of short. A brother pooped in a urinal. My other brother bit a kid. I was in there for stealing all the phones. They got them back. They put them all back, and we chucked it off to like kind of like a funny prank. But so yeah, that's one of my stories. I got so many more stories, you guys. Like, the more subscribers I gain, I'm getting up there. Like, I think I have 3,430 or 40 or something like that, which is insane. I only started this channel like last year, just as like a funny kind of joke to see, like, can people actually make money from YouTube? Like, I mean, you see it, obviously. You see it all the time. People obviously make money. But can like a normal person, like me, like a normal dude, someone that's not like a cute chick or does like all this weird crap. Like, I'm just a normal looking dude with a beard, glasses, and a hat. I got some funny ass stories, ball tickling kind of stories or cringy kind of stories, but I'll let you know all about them. And subscribe if you want. I thought briefly I would talk about like cold case files or murder trials. Like, we're watching the Stephen Avery case, the whole where the police department kind of got him under, their like spell. King Kratz, you guys know him. He's terrible, just a terrible person. But I'm also watching, like, I've been rewatching the Chris Watts like murder trials and stuff, and I'm like, man, those are like, I don't know why that's so intriguing, but Chris Watts, like, he killed his whole family in Colorado. We lived in Colorado for a while. We actually went to the Lazy Dog Cafe several times. The one up in North Glen, I think it was, or it's like right off I-25, near like a steakhouse right up there, but it closed down. And then, but I was like, how weird would that have been if we were up there kind of around that same time when Chris Watts was doing his thing with his mistress, The other one I was watching is the Scott Peterson trial. He killed his wife, chopped her into bits. I thought that one was kind of crazy because the media can swing things one way or another, and it's coming to light that maybe he has some new evidence. I don't think he does, because I think he murdered her, but maybe he didn't. I don't know. Like, uh, it's possible. I mean, I guess he didn't, but I just don't see who else could have done it. Like, there's this group of people that are called the Innocent Project, and they like get people out of prison that are wrongly convicted, and they have a good return. Like, they get a lot of people out. So I'm like, well, I don't think they would take on a case unless they had a good shot. Like, I don't know how their metrics work, but maybe like a 60-40 chance of getting them out of prison. So that would be insane. The Stephen Avery stuff too. I'm like, man, like, I do feel like he will be exonerated at some point. And if you look up that case at all, a lot of those dudes have had some weird stuff go down in several years. Ken Kratz, he's the lead prosecutor. He's like kind of like a smuggish dude that talks like sort of like a baby of some kind. But he had some sexual allegation charges, and I'm thinking that he had more involvement than what is speculated. I feel like he possibly even killed that girl and covered it up because he had some sexual allegations of where he was texting people and kind of like harassing women, which is what the girl in the Stephen Avery case had going on as well. Now, I don't know why they never like uncovered those documents or anything, or like her phone records and found out who was calling. I also don't know why the Dawson kid didn't get an IQ test. Like, what the hell? The kid's like an idiot. But like, we've been watching that, and if you want to watch something where you can debate it back and forth with your spouse, the Making a Murderer case, or the documentary on Netflix that has another part. I don't know how old it is, but we just started watching the second part of it. We watched the first one way back. But it's solid. It's a solid documentary. It's like binge worthy, you know. So yeah. So my plan is I'm going to start making longer form videos because I want to be monetized. I have a lot of subscribers. I just need the monetization, and it's really hard to get that by doing like shorts, because shorts, I can only get like, in a 90-day period, I can only get like 235,000 views, and you need like either 3 or 10 million views, and that's hard to do. Like, unless you have a video go viral, or actually several videos go viral. Viral. That sounds like an outbreak, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I got going on right now. I thought this story was funny. I was thinking about it this morning. Like, my brother pooped in a urinal. My other brother bit someone. I stole some phones. It just shows you how crazy, like, all those coincidental things. And then I was thinking about like all these murder trials and stuff. So yeah, if you learn anything from this video, 1, don't poop in a urinal. It's odd. It's kind of funny though. A big fat turd, you walk in and you see a big, like, a turd. I imagine it kind of hanging out of the urinal, like kind of like a suspended kind of turd. But that's just me. I have a vivid imagination of these things. So yeah, stay tuned if you like my videos. And if you don't like my videos, I don't give a shit. You can like do whatever you want. I'm gonna keep making videos because I want to, and I like it. I do all sorts of cool things. I sell on eBay. I have amassed a huge collection of silver from thrift stores. Like, I'm talking, I have found 10 pounds of silver in the last 5 to 6 months. It's kind of insane. I've documented some of that, but yeah, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna change it in at some point. Like, take it to a coin shop or something and get cash for it. And maybe I'll document that. It'd be kind of cool to see how much I get for it. But yeah, so stay tuned. This kind of went on way longer than I ever anticipated, but yeah, if you like my videos and stuff, support me by just watching the channel, watching all these like full-length videos, because they'll help me get the watch hours I need in order to like become monetized, so I can make better content for you guys. But for now, peace out. You know,